Thrilled to hear now from Sinéad Cochrane, who is a senior product researcher. She's going to talk to us about building empathy for a better product. And as a customer-minded person, I am super excited to hear what she has to say. So Sinéad, to the stage, please.
When was the last time you listened to a customer? If you're a researcher like myself, the answer might be today, a couple of hours ago. If you're a designer or a product manager, it might have been a week ago or 2 weeks ago. But what if you're an engineer? When was the last time you heard what customers were saying? When was the last time you took a pause from building something to think about and explore why you were building it? At Intercom, we value time spent building empathy with the people that we're building our products for, as ultimately this leads to a better understanding of our customers. Customer problems, product managers and designers, they may be leading in the pursuit of finding solutions to those problems. But it's the responsibility of everyone on a product team to understand the customer and to understand these problems. Because if you want to share ideas and opinions about how a thing should work, without information about the customer, without facts to back that up, you're going to be basing your opinions and your ideas on assumptions. Assumptions are the kryptonite of product teams. So no matter your role on a team, the decisions that you make are higher in risk if they're not based on facts about your customers. And everything that you do is essentially less impactful if you're not basing it on insight and customer knowledge. User research is the lasso of truth for product teams. It crushes these assumptions and it reduces risk through the creation of a shared understanding of the customer. So researchers like myself, we go and we talk to customers and we share what we've learned through research presentations and posters, job stories, magazines. And whilst exposure to these customer insights, it can lead to some level of empathy, teams will empathize more when they can see or hear those customers in action. Well, what even is empathy? So empathy is often reduced down to the concept of emotion. So that's the ability to feel and share another person's emotions. But it's actually a lot more complex than that. So we can think about empathy as having 3 parts. So it's perspective taking. So putting yourself in another person's shoes. So when a customer tells us that something is broken, we can imagine the impact it's having on the job that they're trying to get done. It's non-judgmental, so we don't look for blame. It doesn't matter who or what caused the problem, only that we can offer a solution. And lastly, it's recognizing those emotions. So we recognize the emotional impact that it's having on the person. And it's this kind of emphatic thinking that helps us understand the true severity of the problems that our customers are facing. Empathy leads to product teams that are intrinsically motivated to create the best experience for every customer. On the other hand, a lack of empathy, this can cause misunderstandings and it can fuel the kind of unhealthy conflict that you don't want on a product team. But developing empathy, it's not easy. I've learned that participation in research can encourage this deep empathy. So actually observing research, so giving product teams the opportunity to actually listen to customers talk about how they work and observing them interacting and using the products that the team is building or has built. So last year, when we were redesigning the Messenger As the lead user researcher, it was my responsibility to ensure that we were conducting regular user research that was moving us towards this goal that we had to create a business messenger for everyone. For many members of the Messenger product team, so designers and engineers alike, this was the first time that they had the opportunity to actually listen to customers and listen to users talk about the Messenger. And it was the first time that they had actually observed people using the product that they were building. So the research was really helpful, really insightful. We got lots of feedback, we got lots of insights about how people interacted with our messenger, but we also got lots of insights about how people interacted with the messages as well. And actually we had like this really bizarre mini revelation from the very beginning, and that was that some people thought that our messages were pop-up advertisements. So this really freaked the team out. We'd never even considered this, that our messenger could be eliciting that old affliction, banner blindness. But the team were there. They were there to see people, real people, almost reflexively closing these messages as they appeared when they were browsing the test website. And they were also, the team were there to hear about the irritation and frustration that people felt when these types of messages took over their screen. So we discussed this weirdness as a team. We discussed the insights, and we agreed that whilst we wanted to offer the right level of disruption for our customers who were sending these messages, at the same time, it was really important to us that we could offer control to the users for when they would see the messages. So our designer, Julian, began looking at solutions to this problem. And then we began building and testing a range of new message types and message sizes and ways to preview the content of the message. So the engineers on the team, they were able to understand why they were building what they were building. As well as that, they were able to articulate the decision-making process and the inspiration behind the changes to their product. And later they were able to see the positive impact on the end user behavior when we were making those changes and testing those changes. We saw that people were no longer closing the messages. They were actually browsing their test website and they were viewing their messages when they were ready. There was no more irritation, there was no more frustration, and the team were there to hear that. Being part of this journey, it helped the team stay motivated towards their common goal of creating a business messenger for everyone. So this is Dale. Dale is a product engineer on the messenger team. So Dale talked about, actually on the blog recently, about how participating in research, it gives him confidence that what he's building isn't just useless stuff, and that he's really helping customers. So the impact of taking part in research for the messenger team was that it helped drive them towards their common goal. It built deep empathy with our customers' customers. It developed a better shared understanding of our customers' customers and the problems they were facing. But then lastly, it was confidence building that we were making the right product decisions. To really understand how and why customers use your products, how they think about your products and how they use your products, observe and consume research. But you cannot gain empathy through osmosis. So in order for research to be a conscious empathy building exercise, you need to take part. So participation in research means being there and listening to your customers, observing really closely, giving feedback. And it also means taking part in the conversations about what we learned and what are we going to do next. It's more important than ever for us to remember the human consequences of the technology that we're building, but it isn't easy. Solving problems, it engages the analytical parts of our brain, And neuroscience research tells us that analytical thinking, it suppresses emphatic thinking. So if we're constantly focused on the component parts of a problem, it can be really hard to think about the people that we're impacting and the bigger picture. And if we're surrounding ourselves by technology, which by nature triggers our analytical brain, this can be even harder. So participating in research, it can help you build deep empathy. But I'll admit, it isn't the only way that you can do this. So this is Pat. Pat is a product engineer from the design systems team. This is Pat talking about something we call customer days. So customer days is where we down tools for a day or a half a day. We down tools on our typical work and we answer customer support conversations. And these are opportunities for us to get motivated and inspired by customers to create these better experiences. Engage your emphatic mind. Remind yourself who you are building your products for. Now you can create these opportunities for yourself. Tomorrow, find someone, anyone in your company whose job it is to talk to customers every day and ask them, how can I get closer to my customer? Thank you.